So, original characters are a very common thing in the art community. And yeah, a lot of the time, your OCs are something you're excited to show off and brag about because they're a great design and you're proud of them. But then there are some, especially the old ones, that you're embarrassed by. Stories and designs that you thought were cool when you were younger could wind up lame when you're older. Or you realize that they fit into an overused trope. Or they might just be really boring, like, that's the thing too. When this happens, people usually either throw out that OC and never draw or think about them again, or they spice them up a bit. Here's all the designs I went through with my first OC, Catherine Davis. Now, when I first came up with Kat, she pretty much had no personality whatsoever. When I was 11, I had the idea of someone in a world where superpowers are a thing. And her power was the ability to, not exactly take someone's power, but copy it and use it as her own. For a while, I referred to her as Clone Girl, which was really just not an actual person's name. But when I got to designing her, I came up with the name Jasmine, and then the name Vanessa, which she was nicknamed Essie. But none of those names I really like. Like, they're decent names, but I didn't feel like they were a good name for a character. And then Victorious came out, and one of the characters was named Kat, and I loved her. And I threw all that other stuff out of the window and just named her Kat. But I named her with a K in the name because when I was younger, I thought that if I took anything from anything, I'd get sued, like the name Cat. So I spelled it with a K because I thought that if not, I'd get arrested. I don't know, I was really stupid. I thought that the police were always going to arrest me for anything I did. So that was dumb. And whenever I started designing her, I realized I have no idea what she's supposed to look like. I think red hair is cool. And I've been drawing for like 3 months and watched a fuck ton of Mark Curley videos and have the ability to draw one kind of face. I'll make that her face. Sweet, got that sorted. So that's how she came to be. And also that like greenish blue sweater, whatever it is. I was like, she needs a tragic backstory. Oh yeah, she was abandoned in a parking lot, wrapped in her mother's sweater, and that's the only thing that she has from her mother. And whenever the story takes place, it's right whenever the sweater fits her perfectly, like a normal sweater. Okay, first of all, that gotta be like really old and stinky. What are you doing? And unfortunately, I keep this storyline and the sweater for like her entire transformation. So you're just going to see the stupid sweater completely off her shoulders. She's like super cold all the time. It's all my fault. I'm so sorry, Kat. This iteration of Kat actually has a story behind it. It sucks, but still. Now, this was right after I read Harry Potter for the first time, and I was reading Percy Jackson. So I was all about super young kids put into deadly prophecies. Kat was the main character and the main big person in the prophecy, the most important one. And she was also the newest one to her powers. So it was pretty much a carbon copy of every young adult novel at the time. It was like Avatar: The Last Airbender, except in this version, the protagonist was boring as shit. Like, honestly, oh my god. She still had no personality. She had nothing. The only thing that she had was big, messy hair to symbolize that she's the generic Forever 21, messy hair, don't care kind of gal. She's not like other girls. She's quirky. She lets her hair fly out really messily in dangerous situations where it's just completely stupid to have your hair like that. Oh my god. Okay, so, yeah, I can insult my old characters because now she's different. She got set on fire, whatever. So, yeah, also she has a necklace now because that was the key to the facility where all the kids, trained their powers. It was like this this really rundown motel, but if you'd go into the elevator and you'd press the necklace against something, it would bring you to like 50 different underground floors, which was the whole facility, which was pretty neat, I guess. I'm not going into much detail about this story because it's very long and boring and I abandoned it. I actually have 20 pages of myself trying to write this whenever I was in 8th grade. So I could probably post it somewhere if someone wanted to read my embarrassing old writing. Like, God, it's so bad. Well, it's funny bad. It's bad but entertaining kind of bad. So, I don't know, that might be a good idea. I showed you all my old sketchbooks, so I've already proven I have no dignity. But, yeah, she's cuter, honestly. Like, she's cuter, but she's still nothing at this point. Which is fine. I was 13. I didn't need anything special. This version of Cat is the worst. This was this was when I was in my quirky phase. I was like 14, 13. So I just like transferred all my quirkiness to Cat. She like finally had a personality, but it was a bad one. It was my personality. God, I was bad back then too. But I thought that I was being funny, and I was being funny to 13-year-olds in 2013. And that's just not good humor anymore, especially. It was random humor. It was like a very important tense scene, and they'd be like, "You have the power of a reflectionist," because that's what it's called. And everyone around her's like, "Oh," because it's a super rare power. And she's like, "What the poop is a reflectionist?" And it's like, "Oh, that's so quirky." Because that's a serious scene, and she said, "What the poop?" And what the poop isn't even something that people say. Wow! She's so funny and cool. No, I was just 13, and I thought that was funny and cool. Which it was not. Also, she has headphones in this. Because, this was whenever I decided, her story, it's not tragic enough. It's not sad enough. I need to break her, but I need to let her continue to make poop jokes, even though she's a broken shell of a person. So, I decided to, get her to figure out what her powers were by some guy with fire powers, try to kill her in a alleyway, and he tries to set her on fire, and he sets her ear on fire, but there's no scarring anywhere else. She just doesn't have an ear, so she covers it up with headphones, which, I mean, if you're already half deaf in one ear you cannot hear out of, why would you wear headphones that covers up both of your ears? You won't be able to hear anything. She probably doesn't want to hear the dialogue that I wrote for her, which I completely understand. Also, I threw in a love triangle for no reason. I kill off the first dude in the first 5 chapters, and it's so, I can say that because that dude, he still exists in the current version of the story, but I don't, it's not the same story as this one because this story's really bad, and I probably won't kill him off in it. I don't know. I don't know the current one fully yet, but yeah, this one sucks. You could tell by her spiky hair. It's just tragic. My bad, Cat. I'm so sorry that I had to put you through this. I'm not gonna apologize for burning you. I'm just gonna slowly make the scar bigger. Because scars are cool. I'm sorry, Cat. Okay, this is a stage where the story starts to get a bit reasonable. Like, I'm 15 or 14 now, I don't know math. And I'm looking back at the old version that I wrote down, and I'm cringing, and I'm like, what the poop? Why would she say what the poop? What? That's just trying too hard. That sucks. And I put her hair back in a ponytail again, because I decide, hey, she needs to be more badass than quirky. So she's not gonna just let her hair be all up in her grill whenever she's trying to murder things. Oh, also, I make it way more murdery. I turn her necklace into a key to open up the room, into a gift from her father. That's a magic necklace that cannot hurt her in any way. But if she pulls on it, she can, like, make it get longer, and it turns into barbed wire, and that's her weapon. She just has, like, a barbed wire whip or something. She uses it to, like, she wraps it around bad guys' necks and pulls and decapitates them. She's just, like, ridiculous. Yeah. And, I like the entire thing, like, a bit easier for me to read without wanting to vomit. I changed the stupid love triangle into, like, she's into this one dude in the beginning, but then he dies. Which, I mean, okay. Okay, just, you put all the effort into making this character, why not just kill him? So, I did that. And then she and the other dude that was in the love triangle, like, they slowly become friends because he was the other guy's best friend. And God, this is boring myself. I just hate love triangles in general. Like, God. But, yeah. She's cooler now. I really should have written a script for this, so that I'm not just sitting here figuring out how to speak. God damn. But, yeah, she looks really gross in this, but that's just because I'm trying to sort of copy my art style back then. It's not working out that well. And also, this way of drawing hair, you guys asked me how I draw hair. I don't know. It's like every time I draw, it's a different style. And this style kind of sucks, but I drew it on the first two, so gotta stick with it, you know. So, that's what's up with Cat. And, okay. This cat, standalone, all on her own. That's what standalone means. Yeah, her story is okay. It's fine. It's pretty good. But I had to abandon it because compared to all the other stories I was making at the time, it just really lacked a lot in comparison. Either that or I was just getting tired of fixing the story constantly because it's my oldest story. But I also ended up going back to it because it has sentimental value to me. It's my first story. But yeah, for this version, it was still like prophecy, young adult novel kind of thing. But it was also mainly making fun of it while also secretly being all about that. Like, there's a prophecy that she gets told by one of the characters, and another character goes, dude, isn't that like a bedtime story that they tell little kids? Which is a trope. And they're usually like, yes, but it's based off of the truth. But in this version, the guy's actually like, shut up, I'm trying to get her to join our team! Oh my god! You ruined this for us! So, like, it makes fun of that. But also, there is actually another secret hidden prophecy that she's totally a part of and everyone's totally a part of, but they don't realize it. And the reader isn't supposed to realize it until, like, I don't know, later on they figure it out for themselves. And it turns the love triangle into a polyamorous relationship. And it just continuously makes fun of tropes constantly and stuff. Like, even the little things. Like, this one guy, he's driving, and he's in an argument with someone, and he just doesn't look at the wheel for, like, 2 minutes talking to the other dude, which happens a lot in shows. And then the other guy's just freaking out, and he's like, look at the road, oh my god, we're not in a movie or anything. I don't know, stupid like that. Also, I made her, scar actually visible, because you can't just get rid of the ear without getting rid of any hair or without it spreading or anything. And I gave her astigmatism to make her relate to myself or something. And I also put in braids just to make her look a bit less boring. And I ended up keeping the braids for the final version. I think, honestly, for this version of Cat, I think that it's the most beautiful one out of all of the cats, which I know it's kind of like self-centered to say, I guess. Not really, I don't know, but she looks really cute, she looks really nice, but she doesn't look interesting. She doesn't really even look like a main character. She looks like a side character, character in the background, character's best friend. It's just not interesting enough. So I kind of give up beauty for... Not give up beauty, I like it. I like what it turns out to be. So I kind of just changed that up a bit later on. You'll see. It's now. You'll see. Right now. Here it comes. Now this is the cat that I met. And I love her to death. I kind of gave up beauty for making her more interesting. Well, traditional beauty. But I also threw out the whole stupid prophecy story because I was just sick of trying to make it work. It wasn't working for me. But I wanted to keep the characters and their personalities and their powers and I guess a really basic broken down, what's that word that they use on like Chopped all the time? Deconstructed, whatever, kind of version of their story. So for this, Kat and a bunch of other people from the other story that I'm not talking about because this is not their video, this is Kat's video. They all get superpowers because, I don't know, like a meteor comes out from the sky and it has some gaseous effect that only works on people with a certain kind of thing in their DNA or something. I don't know. But their group isn't the only people with superpowers. It's like a bunch of other people, whatever. But, so they have superpowers. And she has a group of friends that all have superpowers. And whenever they can transform into superheroes, I'm gonna be honest, I was going through this thinking of it like Miraculous Ladybug, but they actually look different when they transform and when they detransform, and they have actual reasons why people wouldn't recognize them. Now, for this, one side effect of their superpowers is if they get injured while they're transformed, if they detransform, then it'll stop them from whatever it was that was hurting them. And, like, for instance, Kat, she gets set on fire, obviously. And when she detransforms, the fire's out. But now whenever she transforms, she's going to have that scar. But whenever she detransforms, she's not going to have that scar. But whenever she detransforms, she also can't hear out of that ear and she can't feel that part of her face. So there's side effects to what happens with her powers. But it's a way of protection and identity protection. It can't be seen. So she can't be recognized. Because even though her detransformed form looks kind of similar to what her superhero's name is Reflecta. I also got that from Miraculous Ladybug. But her power is to reflect powers, so it kind of works. It's not plagiarism. But, yeah, she kind of looks a little bit the same. Like, maybe related or something. But it's, if people look at her, they're not straight up like, oh my god, you're Reflecta! Because Reflecta has a giant scar. And people who aren't superheroes don't know how superheroism works. They don't know that the scars are invisible whenever they're detransformed and transformed. So, it's all like that. But yeah, this story, that's how cats like. I could talk about some of the other characters and their side effects. Paige, she has this giant scar on her mouth because she got scratched really badly. And when she detransforms, she has a heavy lisp. Which, of course, I thought relating to myself because I have a lisp. So she selectively mutes. She uses sign language. And this guy, Gray. Oh my god, I forgot Gray's name. He got a part of his arm chopped off. But whenever he transforms back, he he just can't really. He has a lot of motion problems with that arm. And this other guy, Nate, he straight up almost died. He was like 3 seconds away from death whenever he detransformed. And now if he transforms again, he he can't use his powers anymore. He's stuck detransformed for the rest of his life because if he transforms again, he's gonna like immediately die. But what everyone else doesn't know is he actually has a terminal illness now. That's the side effect that he has for almost dying. So that's a bit about how the powers work. This is Kat's design. I like it way better. It fits more into how I design my characters nowadays. And I just like it a lot. I went through a lot of stuff with her. But also, if you're watching this and you have a character that kind of resembles story-wise or appearance-wise or otherwise, like the other versions of Cat that I grew from, I'm not saying that your version is bad or anything. I'm saying that I did what I feel is best for my character, and my step 3 could be your final step. It's just a matter of taste. And it's a matter of how you perform with that character. So, I'm glad you guys were here to watch me just constantly talk about my characters, which I love to do so much. I hate to talk, but I love to explain my characters. Thanks for watching.